Everybody stop everything you're doing. Coming to us straight from Japan is a dimension police list like you wouldn't have expected to see in this format. The list is the embodiment of everything I want to demonstrate with this channel, so I stopped working on the deck list I wanted to present you to talk about this instead. The point of this list is simple. You want to power up your miracle beauties a lot and chain as many attacks as you can on force 2 circles. Let's take a look at this list, starting with a great freeze. First we have 4 miracle beauty. She's a wincon, so of course she's a 4-up. If she attacks with a power of 30 or more, you get to counterblast 1 to stand another copy of herself on rearguard circle, and when she stands, you stand the boost as well. So the important part here will be to power up a lot to activate the restand. To make the most of our attacks, we want to go for force 2 markers, and use other sources to strengthen her. This is where Great Dayusha and Diarm come in. Both are 3-ups, and will power up your board like crazy. Finally, you have 4 Blood Black. This is your main ride. The first skill will let you search for your different Great Freeze and enable your combos by riding one of them mid-battle. It comes with a very useful plus 10,000 to the front row, making Beauty 23,000 on her own. This means that when you ride Dayusha, she'll instantly be 33,000 or more. If your opponent has 9 cards or less in hand, that's probably enough to take them out. If they have 10 or more, you get to add plus 30,000 to the front row instead with Diarm. Also, Diarm works on rearguard circle as well, so you can call them all at once if you get the chance. You are playing 14 Great Freeze for this though. Even by DP standards, that's a lot. That's why all your Grade 2s will be here for the shield value. They will make up for the loss of shield, which is also important because of your trigger lineup, but we'll come back to that. Your main Grade 1 is Miracle Fairy, Larrabee. She's another way to restand Beauty. At the end of the battle where she boosted, you counterblast 1 and set her to the soul to stand a Beauty, but reduce the power by 5,000. She's basically a combo extender. In this deck, 1 counterblast equals to 1 attack, so you want to get as many Larrabee as you can. However, she's not crucial most of the time, she's just some welcome redundancy. The other great ones are just great researchers to help you get your combo pieces. Finally, your triggers are 4 heals and 12 draws. You don't care about crits here. You just need your combo pieces and you don't have card advantage skills except for Blood Black and Dice Cooper's Vanguard skill. You lose some shield by not playing crits though, so again, your Grade 2s will be crucial for your defense. It may not be obvious at first, but this deck's stability is close to Luard. As long as you get to Brad, you're set. You don't draw as much, but you're always searching for your combo pieces, and Dayusha and Diarm complement each other, giving you flexibility depending on your opponent. This time I can't give you the steps the guy building the deck went through, but this is a good opportunity to have a quick word about net decking. Net decking is often looked down on, but it's not inherently bad. It's just important to understand how to do it properly. You can't just take some random deck to an event and expect to perform well with it, even if it's a strong one. You need to train with it and understand how it was made to play out. For example, my first time playing this deck, I went with Force 1 and got wrecked. As soon as I started taking Force 2, Luard started getting some very hard time against me. Also, not all the decks found online are perfectly optimized. It's important to try out different ratios and even different cards to find the ones you prefer. In this particular case, I didn't find anything I wanted to change, but thinking back to the last video, you could imagine playing a different G-zone than me, or different ratios for specific cards, for example, like the Sentinels. With that being said, some concrete examples are worth 1,000 words, so let's watch some gameplay together to show you why you should bring this deck to the next tournament. I'm going to present you a few games of Dimension Police vs Luard. A few are from me and the last one will be from a friend. This should give you a good enough idea of how to play the deck and the matchup. Okay, so let's start right away with the first match. Our aim with this deck is to get, of course, the grade 1, 2 and 3 rides, but most especially the Blad in the starting hand, or any grade 3 searcher. So for my start, I choose to keep the grade 1 and 2, but remove everything else. Sadly I get 3 triggers back, so we'll have to luck it out a bit. I was going to attack under him, but still get a draw trigger, which is both good and bad for me. Good because, well, I want to deal enough damages to put him in kill range, of course, but bad because then he can just do the normal Luard play and make quite the advantage. So I'm going to guard the attack I can. He gets a heal, which is annoying, of course, but now at least he doesn't have the counterblast anymore for the Luard turn, and I get triggers as well, so it evens out. Then for my grade 2 turn, I choose not to call anything, so that he will have to use the Luard skill and minus himself, and then I don't give him counterblast, so that when he rides Drag Driver, he can't call. This is important because since I couldn't, he didn't keep one early damage, so to ensure I survive long enough to get the combo starting, I try to make him do things he doesn't want to. So he started accumulating the gifts, but he couldn't draw too much or attack too many times on the first ride. So now for my turn I'm going to need to put him in kill range. I already have the 2 Miracle Beauties, but it's way too early to take them, to call them, sorry. I know he's going to want the counterblast, so I can put the Force 2 on my Vanguard without worrying too much, and I'm still going to call a few rear guards because I already have 1 perfect guard, 1 heal, even a grade 2 that's a 15k shield, so I have enough defenses for the next turn. On the drive check I also get another perfect guard, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to survive, and then I attack just for as many damages as I can, but being at 2 he's already in kill range for my Force 2 take, because now he can only take 1 of my Force 2 attacks, and he will have to guard everything else. So with Miracle Beauty attacking several times a turn, it's very soon going to matter. For his turn he can now play as he wants, but even being able to use Driver and Morphesa, I can take 1 attack, perfect guard 2, and I have enough shield for the last one, so I'm not worried. Although if he had a way to do 5 attacks, with Abyss Router for example, I guess that would be different. But in this particular setup, it's not a problem. So 45, I can just go 48 with both those cards, and then perfect the last one. So now it's time to call the beauties. I also call the Dice Cooper on top of my boost behind the beauty. This is a misplay because it doesn't change the amount of shield he's going to need. I should have called it behind the Vanguard, but it shouldn't matter. Also using Blood Black, I put my front row at 23, and now that I can just use his skill to ride Red Dayusha and put the last Force 2 marker on my front row. I don't have Lavrabi, but it's still 5 more attacks, and he's going to need at least 30k shield every time with only 6 cards in hand. He'd better have... no, even if he had 3 perfect guards, it wouldn't be enough. At least 2 attacks are going to go through. The draw trigger doesn't matter here. So this is game, and here we saw that the Luard player had a decent hand, decent start, but since he couldn't finish me off before the big combo turn, even just riding Red Dayusha was enough. So now let's go to the next game and see what happens if they have more cards in hand. So for this next game we have blad-clad and the GIF researcher. So it's already a pretty good start. We are still going to need to draw the grade 2 though. We only run 8, so it's a risk. We might miss right there. Dice Cooper, an even better grade 1 to write, because it's you get to add a card to your hand instead of just filtering, and we get the grade 2 on the grade 0 skill. So this is good for us. At least we know we are going to get the normal setup. Taking the first grade 1, but guarding the Vanguard because I don't want to get critted too much in early game. Getting the Dayusha. We also have Diarm in hand, so whatever happens we know we have our decent right targets, and attacking the rearguard because I don't want to rely on a trigger to hit, but still -1 card for him. And I didn't call anything because that way he has to minus if he wants to use Luard. So here we see him going for a small setup turn, drawing cards, preparing. He doesn't have a lot of grade 1s in hand, so he's doing the minimal with Direct Driver while gathering gifts. And he has exactly 9 cards in hand, so we can't use Diarm, and he's only on 1 damage, so the Great Dayusha won't be enough here. Just putting the Force 2 on the Vanguard and attacking is enough because he doesn't have a Counterblast left, so he's going to take it anyway. Otherwise he won't be able to do anything either on his turn. And now while he is on 3 damages, we know for sure that he's going to be in kill range, even if he heals. So now he uses Direct Driver to gather, to do a draw turn. He wants to gain advantage to survive the Miracle Beauty combo, because from his perspective we have a huge hand, so we probably have a perfect guard, a heal, shield. Luckily he doesn't know that we also have 5 grade 3s and quite the number of 5k shields. So yeah, in this situation, if he had gone all out, he would have won. But now he only has 3 attacks, so it might be possible to survive. So, wanted to guard at first, but then I realized that my hand is way too low for that. So I take the first one and get 2 lucky triggers, which put me in a very good spot to guard, of course. The heal doesn't matter though, because all the attacks are crit too, except the Vanguard of course, but I won't risk this. Keeping the Larrabee for the Miracle Beauty, and now with 4 Counterblasts, it's going to be a pretty big turn. I don't have another blad-clad in hand, so I won't be able to get the full Force 2 front row, but he's on 3 damages, so it's not really important. Using the double Diarm for plus 60,000 to the front row, and since we already are that high, it doesn't really matter if we use the plus 10k from blad-clad. So first Vanguard attack, he guards it, and probably plans to take the 2 rares. Not using the Great Dayusha because we want to do more attacks with Larrabee, and we get a 3rd Diarm from the Brad skill, so it's another 30,000 to the front row. So he chooses to take the Vanguard, which is probably a mistake, but considering how high the Miracle Beauties are, he doesn't have enough shield to guard anyway. And well, I'm not going to show you all of it, but after the game we did it again to see if he could have guarded the turn, but even by optimizing the guards, the Miracle Beauties being at 103 power is just way too high. He has enough shield to guard one attack at most. If he had the perfect guard in hand, it might have been well, one more I mean, it might have been a different story, but as it is, it's just impossible. So for this last match, this is the match I got from a friend, and it's actually Dimension Police against Gredora. So not Luard, sorry about that, but I still thought it would be interesting to show it to you because he showed different moves that I didn't get to record on camera when I playtested. So this is a playtest, and he had missed his assist, but because they're here to try, his opponent let him add a grade 1 from his deck to his hand, and he took the Dice Cooper, so optimal ride. And now let's see how the rest of the game plays out. He got the grade 2, he got the Brad, and he has 1 Dayusha and 2 Diham in hand, so as far as Dimension Police goes, this is a pretty good start. But now he still needs to get the Miracle Beauties from. As for the Mega Colony player, we can see he has Gredoras, quite the number of Cradle generators and ways to make use of it with Morciroro and Darkface. This should be an interesting game. So we see both of them refusing to call cards, conscious probably that the first one to commit to the board is going to be in a bad situation. But now it's starting to be very good for the Dimension Police player because he has 3 Miracle Beauties in hand, 1 Larrabee. He needs the Counterblast to restand, but he can start committing to the field if he wants to. He has more than enough cards to afford it. 4 Beauties to Larrabee. He can just bait his opponent now to start attacking him as well. He's still going to be able to pull off the full combo. So Mega Colony has quite the amount of cards in hand, so using 1 Diham here is clearly not a bad idea. We can see he has 1 Counterblast and Great Dayusha in hand. He didn't use the 10,000 to the front row, so he's most likely trying to double ride. So he went for Great Dayusha first, and now he gets to use the... Well, he forgot to ride the other grade 3, and there he does it. And still his opponent still has 10 cards in hand. Tayarm will activate. He now has 2. Yeah, so not forgetting all the power. And now he's going to have to guard with, well, either perfect guards or he doesn't seem to have a lot of shield outside of the Sentinels, but he has 5 in hand. Right, he called the Protect to the Guardian Circle but wanted to call the Quick Shield. So we can see he still has, despite this, 3 Sentinels and 1 Protect marker in hand, so the Gredora player is still in a very good state. Dimension Police is going to need the multi-attack from Miracle Beauty to win, but at this point he's out of die arms, and a single Dayusha ride won't be enough. Although he still, I don't think we saw blad-clad out of the deck yet, so chances are, no, of course he had one, but well, he still has 3 in the deck, so he should be able to draw another one. So Mega Colony doing cradle things. Oh, and here he draws the last die arm. So he's going to be able to ride Dayusha again and just do lots of force 2 attacks. Mega Colony has a lot of sentinels in hand, so they should be able to survive. But it's all a matter. It's still going to take down its hand quite a lot. And he didn't perfect guard here. So the DP player put both triggers on the Vanguard, and it went through. So 2 things to note here. First, this is why you perfect guard when you can, and second, I think it's interesting to see that this deck, despite relying a lot on Miracle Beauties, can still pull off the other combos like Great Dayusha riding in during the battle phase. Also, it's you shouldn't forget that Great Dayusha doesn't lose drives, so it might sometimes be more effective to super ride him during the battle phase, like here. Well, to be fair, even if he had given the triggers to the Vanguard, then his opponent would have had to use all his perfect guards, and he would have been out of shield for the next turn. The Dimension Police players has 3 perfect guards, 2 heals in hand, 3 heals in hand, so he would have had more than enough shield to survive the Mega Colony turn. He might have lacked power then, but well, he probably would have lacked power for the next turn, but I think it's a war of attrition that the Mega Colony player would have lost here, because they were out of sentinels and of defense cards. But that's a story for another day. So this match have been very interesting, I think. It allowed us to see that this deck has actually a very decent matchup against Luard, but we also noticed that it can lack shield, especially in early. So in an Axel meta, like the one we are slowly moving into, with Gold and Great Nature, and maybe Aquaforce, I think, has done some results lately. We'll have to see how the deck fares in this meta. Also, it's probably going to suffer a bit with Shiranui because of the Protect generators. That's something to keep an eye on. But in the Luard meta, it's already pretty good to see that the deck fares well against the main deck. And it's probably going to take a bit of an adjustment for the next ones, but it should be still very fun to play. Now, I hope I wasn't too fast when presenting the deck and the matches to you. I really wanted to show you several matches, but commenting each one takes some time, and I'm trying to keep the video length not too long. Please tell me in the comments if you think the format is good, or if I should take more time detailing either the deck or the plays. I hope that the video was enjoyable to watch anyway. Now, before closing the video, there's one last thing I want to share. A friend and I are throwing a tournament on Cardfighter next Sunday. Well, not tomorrow, but in a week. It will be a standard tournament starting at 10 AM Paris time, and it's open to anyone who wants to enter. We don't have any BCS this season, so we wanted to throw a big tournament on Cardfighter because, well, we are confined and it's more easy to gather people, and we want to try to recreate the feeling of the big tournaments that we usually have. Also, the event will be streamed, so even if you don't want to participate, you can still enjoy the show. All the informations will be in the description of the video. We already have about 30 people in the Discord, and we are hoping to get as many as we can. So I invite you to join us and show us your fun builds, or your competitive builds, or both, because why choose when you can get the best of both worlds. Anyway, thank you for watching, and as a thank you for staying until the end of the video, here's one quick extra replay for you to enjoy. À la prochaine!